So the Kansas City Chiefs are looking very, very dangerous throughout training camp and the all season as a whole. Now, what's good, YouTube? It's AJ Productions here, and I'm back with another football movie. Now, if you're a Chiefs fan and you're watching this, you probably know who I am. This is obviously Chiefs Priority. You can tell by the voice. Well, I run 2 NFL channels, and I'm going to be covering my favorite team on my AJ Prod channel. So the Kansas City Chiefs are obviously looking very deadly in training camp throughout all these weapons. Sky Moore, Justin Ross, and Rashee Rice being a top 3 names that we've been seeing throughout this training camp lately in the wide receiver core, with Richie James and MVS doing well as well. Now, Kadarius Toney obviously got hurt. Chris Jones obviously is holding out for contract purposes, but the Kansas City Chiefs are still not letting that stop them, and they're still working as hard as possible. Now, one thing that that a lot of people's confused about is, why would John Ross retire? And also, if you're from Chiefs Priority or you're just new to this channel in general and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. We're only 200 and something subscribers away from monetization, so please subscribe. That would be beautiful. But yeah, man, the Kansas City Chiefs, they're looking good at every level. If you look at their defense, their offense, and then not just that, we could look at positional groups like offensive line, their rushing attack, stuff like that. The Chiefs are looking very, very good, and they're looking like they're going for another ring. And seeing players like Trent McDuffie, Joshua Williams, and Jalen Watson step up and looking like veterans in year 2, that's also another great sign. George Karlaftis and, L'Jarius Sneed's going to be L'Jarius Sneed. But when we look on the offense side of things, I love what Mahomes is doing. He's spreading the ball to everybody. I think it's going to be another season where everyone gets to make a play and every person steps up that game. Mahomes said that last year, and he ended up being right. But I'm just excited to see the new faces like Justin Ross and Rashee Rice with a year 2 Sky Moore and Richie James. I'm very excited for that. And yeah, man, this NFL season just it can't hurry. It has to hurry up. Everybody's excited. Everybody's waiting. But let's dive deeper into this topic. And yeah, man, when it comes to Justin Ross, I just made a video about him on Chiefs Priority, and I was just basically saying how he's shocking everyone. He's showing out during training camp, and the Chiefs fan base are loving him. With John Ross retiring and Kadarius Toney getting injured, now he's having a strong case to make the roster, right? But out of Rashee Rice, Scott Moore, and Justin Ross, I'm loving this potential trio because they're looking very, very good. They're looking like they're ready to take that role. I understand it's training camp, but that's really what the buzz is right now. It's training camp. People's going to get hype about training camp, and this is something you can't really stop. When you're waiting for the NFL season, the only option you really have is to get hype about training camp. And what I didn't even drop yet on Chiefs Priority is a video about Jerick McKinnon. A lot of people forget about how great this rushing attack could be, with Isaiah Pacheco having 830 yards his first year, with Deneric Prince being a UDFA that runs just as hard as Pacheco, and some Chiefs fans even argue that he's going to be better than Pacheco. And you got Jerick McKinnon, who isn't being talked about enough after having a very good season with the Kansas City Chiefs and making some big plays in his age 30 campaign. And the backup to Isaiah Pacheco posted career best marks and receptions with 56, receiving yards 512, receiving touchdowns 9, and total touchdowns 10. So him re-signing with the Kansas City Chiefs was a very big deal for them, and they should be happy that he decided to even do that, because he's obviously a key player. He's obviously a key player to the Kansas City Chiefs team, and you gotta love him, right? You just gotta love them. And the Chiefs, man, they had a very good season, and they still made some very solid additions to their team this year. And they're the favorites to win the Super Bowl again. And some networks are even saying that they could be possibly the first team to even three-peat. And when you're the Kansas City Chiefs and you've won 2 Super Bowls in 4 years, there's not too much of a doubt that you could that you could do this again and go back to back. I'm sorry, because they'll be the first team to go back to back since 2005. But there's no doubt that they could do it when they already won 2 Super Bowls in 4 years, which is obviously insane. And when you have the best player in the position under center for your team, it guarantees that Kansas City will be in serious contention to be champions again in 2024. And yeah, I know it's new that I'm doing a video a Chiefs video on AJ Productions, but yeah, man, I don't really mind because it was due. I never did a Chiefs video on this channel. I've been making football videos on this channel for a little while now, and I still have never made a Chiefs video. So I was like, you know what? I make so much Chiefs videos for Chiefs Priority, so I might as well go get one up here and see how it does. And I know a lot of my Chiefs fans, not my fans, I'm saying a lot of Chiefs fans that watch my page. I'm not gonna call y'all fans. A lot of my Chiefs family that watch my page. I know they're gonna see this, and hopefully y'all subscribe to this channel too and show as much love that y'all do with Chiefs Priority. Cause hey man, a 17-year-old with 2 YouTube incomes that's getting good views, that's really a blessing, man. It's gonna put me in a position to help my family, you know. But yeah, let's get back to this. So what I love about the Chiefs is that they know what they need to win, right? They need to stay healthy. That's a fact. Last season, a lot of teams was getting hurt, and we got our own, but for the most part, we was one of the healthiest teams in the NFL. So that's why we ended up being able to win. You know, obviously we could have still won, but it's obviously easier to win when you're one of the most healthy teams. But they know what they must do. Them building a great line of scrimmage team on both sides. Now that's key, right? Having a great offensive line and upgrading that this year, and then having a very great defensive line, which had 55 sacks last season. Not the D-line, but the team had 55 sacks last season. So the Chiefs know what they must do to win games, and that's what they're doing. They're building at the right positions. Now, I don't know if we're going to extend Chris Jones at this point, but that wouldn't be too bad to extend him. But for the most part, like I said, the Kansas City Chiefs know exactly what they're doing. They're giving them a good rushing attack, so Mahomes doesn't have to like carry the workload every time, and they're giving him a good offensive line, so he doesn't have to run all the time. They're giving him a good defense, so he doesn't have to have a shootout all the time. So I think they're making it easier for Mahomes. I guess the receiver core is the only thing where they're not really making it too easy because he has to play with a bunch of unproven players. But I think that one of these dudes is gonna break out. Even maybe this trio could even pop off. We don't know. So I don't think it's gonna be like this forever. But what I do like is that the defense and the rushing attack and the offensive line is making it better for him and helping the Hall of Fame quarterback keep cementing his legacy as the greatest quarterback to ever touch this earth. And it's just perfect, man. It's just perfect. But we just got to see what happens in preseason and throughout the season. And, what happens in the first game and all that. I guess the Lions, like everything is going to matter. I'm just going to keep making videos and I'm going to be doing a lot of updates and stuff like that. And yeah, man, I just can't wait. I got y'all. It's going to be very fun. I'm going to watch. I'm thinking I'm on Chiefs Priority right now. I'm forgetting I'm on a whole other page. But on this page, I'm going to be posting about the whole NFL. I'm going to be covering the Chiefs up here too. And on my Chiefs Priority page, I'm going to keep coming with that Chiefs content. But it's been your boy AJ Productions, and I'm out, man. Peace.